everyone. Welcome to Dirtbag Minimal. My name is Karina. So, this is the big reveal. As maybe some of you know, I have built a tiny house that I live in. A well-built, pretty big tiny house for me. It's 10 feet by 24 feet wide. So, I am building a second tiny house. I didn't plan on this, it just kind of happened, and so today is the big reveal. Behind me, I have my trailer underneath, so here we go, here's the big reveal. She's about like 7.5 feet by around 17 feet long, and it's an old 1972 or 1973 camper trailer that was stripped, and the base was just left. So I bought it for maybe around $850, $900, which is a really good deal. The person I bought it from got it and actually reinforced it with steel beams underneath and on top, like this layer of steel, and then it was painted white because he wanted to build a tiny house, and then he ended up finding an Airstream and didn't want this anymore, and so it was marketed as for tiny houses. I did a bunch of research because the issue with a camper trailer is it needs to be extremely lightweight. From what I've found, I think that the weight capacity is supposed to be around like 2,000 to 3,000 or a little more pounds. Well, obviously everyone was like, don't do that, that's too hard. So then of course I had to do it. So I've just been working really hard on designing a super lightweight tiny house, and I've decided that I still want to use wood, 2x4s. So what I'm doing today is, it's already been painted to prevent with rust. The one issue I had with it was that I didn't know the extent of the rust damage, because if it's painted over, how far do you know that the rust is? But I was willing to take a gamble because this project just seemed so... I love a challenge. I love parameters that make you have to think harder and rearrange stuff to create something with more difficulty. So today I am going to sand down the really bad rust spots, and then spray them with a Rust-Oleum primer, and then I actually bought a black Rust-Oleum. And I'm not going to worry about making that whole white section black because that's going to all be covered with the subfloor. Some tools that I'm using, I just have this handheld battery-powered Craftsman sander, and I have some 220 grit sandpaper. I have two types of Rust-Oleum spray. This is a primer for really heavy rust, and then this is just the black paint to paint over. So I'm not quite sure what I'm doing yet, but I'll be using all these, and then a gas mask for spray painting, and I'll probably use it when I'm sanding off the rust too, because why not? You really want to use something like this rather than those masks that we all have now because of COVID. Those are not going to prevent enough for the chemicals from spray paint and also sanding off rust. So you just want to be as careful as possible. This is pretty old. It doesn't work that well, so I really should buy a new one. But for right now, it's better than just a little mask. And then goggles, which I have over there. And then I also have some painter's tape in case I want to cover areas that I don't want to get painted. So what I'm doing right here is just sort of brushing off the trailer and making sure that there isn't any debris on there when I start spray painting. I'm also using that sander to kind of get those really rough spots out, those really hardcore rust areas, and then wiping it down with a wet rag. And then I sort of primed it first with that brown looking stuff, which is the Rust-Oleum primer that's supposed to stop rust. And then the black spray paint is a Rust-Oleum that is supposed to seal in the primer and prevent rust from happening. And I picked black because I just really like the streamlined look of it, and it's going to tie in with my whole design at the end.